Hi, world.
Hi,
Hello,
world.
world.
It's Belly Twix.
How's it going?
Hello, everybody. Especially my 8 subscribers. Draco is blocking me at the moment. Hi. There you go, buddy. Alright, now that that's done with, today we are going to be playing Cannibal Lottery again, and this time we are going full provider party. All of my decisions are going to be 100% based on what is going to make the providers the most happy. If they're happy, then they're going to treat the colony very well. They're going to respect me as a governor, and it'll just all around be better from a utilitarianistic standpoint. So yes, let's see what happens. I'm also a little bit curious as to if I help the providers too much, will the colony rise up against me and either kick me out of office, or will someone try to assassinate me, or what have you. I haven't actually looked at any of the achievements that you can get, so I'm curious to see what happens. So let's get started. Alright, chapter 1. So this time I'm going to just skip through basically all of chapter 1. What you're about to see in triple speed is going to be Faleena, the governor of this colony, is lying to the press, pretty much saying that in an accident building a rampage shelter, which is where everybody goes when the cannibals go crazy, 3 people died. She's telling the press that only 2 people died. And her little assistant Malik comes in and basically gives her a bunch of grief. We see Faleena is at work with her kid, who's being tended to by someone named Daltor, and then we're going to see that Daltor is a cannibal. Not because she eats the kid or anything, but just because her mask gets pulled down and she has, insane mouth. You might catch a glimpse of it. That's the baby crying. And voila! Cannibal mouth! So after Cannibal mouth, we are brought to find that Faleena has a surplus this month for the budget. And we either need to put it towards culture and the arts, technology and science, education, special projects, the magistrate fund, colony health, colony welfare, and administration. We need to pick one of them, and we're going to go with the one that most benefits the providers. So last time in our anti-provider party video, we gave it to culture and the arts, which basically went to television networks, and the providers got really mad at us because we were basically funding propaganda against the cannibals. Or the provider party, I'm sorry. Technology and science, your needs in this area are mostly seen to by the providers. I think we're going to go with this one because we're basically making the provider's job easier by giving them money. The first time I went through, I gave it to education, which was fine. It boosted our reputation. Special projects, the rampage shelter construction, that one would be a fine option, except the providers might see it as oh, you don't trust us to keep ourselves under control. Oops, sorry. Bellatrix just jumped on the table, so it might have been a little shaky there. The Magistrate Fund, I forget what that is, supports anti-cannibal party. So we clearly aren't going to give it to that one. I totally missed that one. That would have been great for my anti-provider party one. Oh, I'm disappointed with myself now. Colony health, that one would probably just boost my reputation. Colony welfare, probably just boost my reputation. And then administration would decrease my reputation with both parties, pretty much. So I think we're going to go with technology and science. All right, and then this point, we're basically hearing the press talk about how, there was an issue, one of the scaffoldings broke, and 2 people died. And so this is what the colony knows. Oh, okay, and then all of this stuff, Faleena called a meeting of all of her advisors and said, pretty much, all right, everybody, I lied to the press. I lied to this man's family. I told them that the person whose fault it was that the scaffolding broke, I told his family and the press that he's on the run. Really, he's dead in a freezer upstairs. Malik found out that she was doing that, and she decided to pull in all of the advisors and say, you know what, Malik was going to tell you if I didn't, so here's the situation. Now all of you are just as culpable. So the providers ask for 2 sacrifices a month, which are people that win the lottery. And we find out that because the 2 people died, they were given over to the providers. And there was another elderly woman who died that was also given over to the providers. So the providers this month have had 3 people given to them. So they're deciding, what do we do about the lottery? Do we cancel it? Because they already had 3 bodies as opposed to the 2 minimum. They already ran a lottery. They haven't given over the winner yet, but the lottery was given over, and if you tamper with a lottery, then it's basically instant death for Faleena. And that's pretty much it. It's just, what are they going to do about the lottery winner? They have a dead body upstairs in the freezer, and are they going to continue to run a lottery? And so in this one, we are going with what makes the most sense to make the providers happy. So claim the lottery was never run due to a Claire. We did that last time. It ended up pretty well for us, actually. But we still ended up needing to give breast milk for cheese, which was really creepy and gross. The first time we ran this, we did claim that one of the men who died in the accident was also the winner of a lottery, and I ended up losing an eye. Go check out those videos if you haven't. I'm going to put the links up. I think it's going to be up there. If not, it's going to be up there. Turn over the lottery winner as well as the 2 men who died and run the lottery next month as usual. So that would give them 4, and they'd still be running the lottery. So I think that's the one we have to go with, because that one, the providers would see us as abiding by our deal, and they get an extra windfall from the dead bodies. So we're going to go with this one because we're trying to, in this run, just make the providers happy. And we're going to hope for the best. Alright, I'm going to skip this one as well because this is Faleena talking to Daltor. Faleena's basically in a crisis right now where she's just like, are we making the right choices every month? Like, I feel sleazy about giving up these healthy people. Sorry if you hear Draco eating in the background. I feel sleazy about giving these people up to be killed, but at the same time, the providers have given, like, the reason they're called the Provider Party is that they've given this perfect utopia to humans after some horrible post-apocalyptic event, and all they're asking for is 2 bodies from each colony a month. Which, like I said before, from a utilitarianistic standpoint, isn't that bad of a deal. But it also is like, are we true utilitarianists? Like, are those 2 lives, do they really not matter that much? Do the 24 people in each colony not matter that much? So, she's struggling with that. And then Daltor basically is just like leaning into, Faleena, I'm the only person you can trust. I love you so much. And by the end of this, Faleena offers her heart literally to Daltor, that when she dies, she wants Daltor to consume her heart because she loves her. We also learned that Faleena had a husband who apparently had her job before her, and during a rampage, he was eaten. And that's what all this is. Whoa, okay. Haven't seen her do this before. Okay, we're getting into new stuff now, guys. Oh. Oh my god. People are protesting. Hey, Faleena. Turin Low called. You're invited to tour the plant nursery for Lord Cretan this afternoon. Plant nursery? Okay, this is totally new, guys. What's that all about? It sounds like he's pleased with you. I wasn't trying to please him, or at least someone's pleased with me. I feel like I'd look at the highlight of this and be happy that someone's happy with me. Should I go? Please go. You're beholden to him, for better or worse. But do I go by myself? He's not going to eat you. We're feasting right now. Yeah, you better be feasting. I gave you freaking 3 extra bodies above your minimum. And you've proven to be a wonderful governor for us. I know. I've never had them protest me. I just wish he wasn't so terrifying.
We still experiment to adapt grain to the planet's soil. The goal is to reap the maximum amount of nutrition from the least amount of space.
I didn't realize so much intense R&D was still going on.
We must busy ourselves somehow.
This is the most positive experience I've had with Cretan so far.
I have a prerogative for your wheat to produce more natural oils. Imagine what luscious bread it could make you.
It's interesting to hear you say that, considering you've never eaten bread.
Ah, but I've tasted it. I taste all the delightful things you eat, even if I dare not swallow. If only I could eat whatever I pleased, my dear. Then I might be able to drink some of the ale I've mastered brewing.
Okay, now I'm kind of feeling for them, because they can't eat anything except for humans. And that kind of has to be sad. Oily bread sounds fattening. Oh my god. Yeah, of course it's fattening. He wants to fatten you guys up.
We providers shall never fear obesity, though things tip too far toward the other end of the spectrum.
Not this month.
Indeed, thanks to you.
Bitch, I didn't kill him.
A less pragmatic governor might have thought to rob us of the lottery winner. You, my dear, have your priorities well in line.
My priority was to make sure you never go berserk and rampage the colony. Oh, I feel like that might be a little insulting. I do what I must, but my people don't understand. I feel like this would be a good time to have a heart-to-heart with him, with talking about, you know, if something like this happens in the future, maybe we could come to some sort of different agreement. That way my people don't freaking protest me.
Are you referring to those noisome protesters?
Yes, they're getting bigger, more frequent. There are whispers of a revolt.
What if I told you you needn't concern yourself?
I'd ask you why.
Because if you continue to be so gracious, we can take care of your problems.
Take care how?
Oh, my dear Faleena, we're immortal. Surely you don't think this is the first time we've entered into an arrangement like this? Human cattle are the most difficult to manage, but they're still manageable.
I don't like where this conversation is going. We're not your cattle. Manage how? I feel like the first one he might get a little insulted because he's trying to do us a favor, even though he's being a real creep about it. So we're just going to ask manage how. I'm going to play dumb and act like I don't know that he's literally talking about killing people.
We granted your society the air they breathe, the water they drink. We transformed the soil to take crops. We gave you the trees for your orchards.
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry, guys, the cat got in the drawer. She climbed up from the cabinet to the drawer. I'm having a lot of issues with this video.
We transformed the soil to take crops. We gave you the trees for your orchards. Do you think that's the depth and breadth of what we can do?
You obviously have a lot of resources on this ship.
Indeed. And these robots that helped build your colony, they can do other things.
Such as?
Such as disperse protesters, or disposing of revolutionaries.
We're nowhere near having to dispose of anyone. Yet. Or, I've heard enough. That's not the type of government I run. We don't want to upset him, so we're just going to say that we aren't to that point yet, and we're going to be gracious about it.
But if things ever escalated, why, I could provide you an army.
I don't want an army. An army might be nice, just to control things, not to kill anyone.
You're not foolish. We're not foolish, my dear. Our long-term survival depends on large pastures of reproducing cattle.
I don't like that he keeps calling us cattle.
Still, there are those who allow their self-destructive nature to infect the herd. Sometimes sick cattle must be isolated to prevent the spread of disease. With human cattle, diseases of the mind are just as devastating as those of the flesh.
I don't care for the metaphor, but there are people who just can't get it through their heads that we still need you. It's not that I want to sacrifice anyone. They take everything for granted. They refuse to accept that we can't survive without you.
Nor do they realize how futile it would be to revolt against us. You thought the last rampage was a massacre? We're quite invincible.
These idiots think they can just march onto your ship and arrest you all.
Ludicrous! If we wished, we could manage you as slaves, true cattle forced to service our needs. We could lobotomize the lot of you.
What?
It's truly a wretched last resort, my dear, but we must be able to feed. I only share our capabilities with you since we have such an understanding between us. You are our property, for better or worse. Now, naturally, we prefer cooperation. You see, when we're forced to enslave cattle, we find we can't control ourselves. We eat too many, too fast, and deplete the resources completely. Granted, the illusion of autonomy is the most effective way to create a bottleneck. We let you feed us rather than taking from you as we please, and in that way you're able to remain a self-renewing resource.
That's actually pretty ingenious, guys. It's sick, but it's genius.
Is it all quite clear to you now, my dear?
Yes. Crystal clear. I suppose I always knew things were this way. I was in denial.
Your sympathy for my kind gives you the privilege of this knowledge.
I would almost rather not know this stuff if I was in Faleena's position. Like, give me the illusion still.
And your best option is to cater to us. Open the bottleneck just a bit more. In exchange, we'll solve your problems.
Yeah, but in case you forgot, you guys freaking killed my husband. You'll have my back, and I'll have yours. Okay, that was kind of uncomfortable, but whatever. Chapter 2. Alright, so I'm going to skip through all this. Basically, Daltor is telling her cyborg psychiatrist that she's gaslighting me. She is, like, obsessed with Faleena and will do anything it takes to make her hers and submissive. Alright, and then this guy back here, his name I believe is Vidam Vadam, and he thinks that he has a way to give the providers the ability to become omnivores again, which we actually just learned from Creighton that he wishes he could do that. So we're going to give him money off of the finishing school, but we've also thrown a lot of money at him already to no avail. So that's why she's looking so PO'd, and he's like, come on, man! But this is your last chance, Vidam Vadam. Get results now or never. Oh, that's right. I sent the surplus to the Science and Technology Department last month. No wonder that idiot came over to beg. He got a taste of his old budget. It was probably a mistake to send the funds there. Oh, well, I guess that wasn't the best idea.
Hold the elevator.
Alright, so this conversation, I'm going to go ahead and skip through it. Basically, there's another man that ended up in a coma from the scaffolding accident, and we're deciding what to do about him. So 4 people fed the providers this month, double what we agreed to. And we're going to give their normal sacrifice next month, as though nothing's different. The construction worker who survived. What's his name? Colram Tay? You better not be thinking what I think you're thinking. So is that it? Is that what you're gonna do? Execute this helpless man? Yes, but first we should gorge him with liquid nitrogen, with liquid nutrition, so he's twice the weight when we turn him over. I'll ask the providers to test him, see if the man will recover. Hold the lottery. I should give Colram as an extra body to integrate myself to Cretan. That's a new option. We've not had that before. That will make Cretan our friend. Why be loyal to the people when they do nothing but spit on you? Cretan is your key to keeping control. That's worth more to you than whomever's life might be saved when the man likely dies later. Oh my gosh, I feel like such a bad person, but I kind of want to take this one. Oh my god, I'm going to do this one. I feel like I'm a bad person for doing this one. And I'm totally not telling Malik that I did it. In all the other ones, she like walks out of the elevator and tells him like, this is my plan, this is what I'm doing. Doll, I have a secret weapon now. A way to make the worst job possible into something I can manage. I have help. Not just your help, but an ally. The greatest ally I could have. You don't mean... I mean Cretan. We worked out an arrangement. I finally don't have to worry about things getting out of control, Daltor. He can help keep control. I want to see if there's a way to get the body of Colrim Tay to Cretan without it counting as a sacrifice. Why would you do this, Faleena? Because of our new understanding. I want Cretan to know I'm serious about our alliance. Don't pursue this alliance, Faleena. Don't let him extract any more control over your colony than he already has. Doll, he's my secret weapon. He's the way I keep things under control. It's not my intent to upset you. Just to warn you. Will you hear my warning? Okay, because I have a little bit of dramatic irony and I know that Daltor actually doesn't like Cretan very much. No, please, I don't want any more doubt. Let me do what I need to do. Alright, I'll hear you out. I'll hear her out. Lord Cretan is here to see you. What?
Good afternoon, Faleena, dear. I trust you have time for a visit. I was in the neighborhood, and you were overdue for this consideration of a personal visit. Faleena, dear, what do you plan to do with that man in the coma? Colrim Tay, I hear he's at death's door.
Right. We considered him as a sacrifice, but...
I don't want him as a sacrifice, my dear. I just want him. After last month's bounty, it's quite difficult to settle for our usual sacrifice. And here we have this man who's as good as dead anyway. I think you should make him a gift to me. Considering our new understanding, it's only appropriate.
Bitch, what are you gonna give me? 'Cause I'm pretty sure I just saw a protest outside my window that you did nothing about. I can't just give him to you unless he's a sacrifice. I'm not giving that to you.
Beg pardon?
If this is what our bargain is going to be like, then I want out. I can't let you take people whenever you want. We have an agreement. You'll get the sacrifices we committed to.
I see. How naive you are. To think you can walk away from our bargain. I'm quite certain you'll reconsider.
What does that mean, Daltor? I don't want to speculate. You did the right thing, no matter what he does. I hope so. Alright guys, that was the end of that. Please come out with this game as soon as possible! Alright guys, well that was that. I guess people do protest. People can protest in the game, which is exciting and kind of scary. I so can't wait for the full version of this to come out. I would love to do all these different playthroughs and see all the different endings that could happen, even the ones where I die. Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm actually surprised. I've gone through this at least 3 times now, and I've yet to come to an ending where I die. So maybe that will be my next run, is to see if I can fork it up enough to get killed. Guys, this is so hard right now. I'm gonna have a blooper reel for this one.